25 years, destiny brought me back to Badrinath and Kedarnath. Here, conch shells are never blown, an eternal flame burns without human touch, and Goddess Lakshmi once became a tree to protect Lord Vishnu. This is not just a temple, it is a living story written in stone and silence. The story of Lakshmi as the Badri tree. When Lord Vishnu was lost in meditation, buried under snow, Goddess Lakshmi transformed herself into a Badri tree to shield him. From that sacrifice, this land came to be known as Badrinath, the Lord of Badri. The eternal flame. Every year when the temple doors close for 6 months of snow, a lamp is lit inside. No one enters, no oil is added. Yet when the doors reopen, the flame is still burning. A mystery even science cannot explain. Brahma Kapal. This sacred spot is where the Pandavas performed rites for their ancestors and where even Lord Shiva himself attained liberation from sin. It is believed that rituals here free souls and grant peace beyond death. Bhim Pul, a massive stone bridge across the Saraswati River, said to have been placed by Bhima during the Pandavas' journey to heaven. Standing firm for centuries without support, it remains a living symbol of strength and faith. The silence of Badrinath. Unlike other temples, the conch is never blown here. Devotees believe sound would disturb Lord Vishnu's meditation. Instead, silence itself becomes worship, teaching us that sometimes the highest devotion is quiet surrender. This is the land where gods meditate, rivers sing, and faith itself becomes eternal. After 25 years, returning here feels like returning to the very heart of Sanatan Dharma, where penance, devotion, and silence meet in the lap of the Himalayas. Between the towering peaks of the Himalayas lies a place where blowing a conch shell is forbidden, where humans worship for 6 months, and deities are believed to reside for the other 6 months, where dogs do not bark, where clouds rain but never thunder. Is this merely a temple, or is it a place where God and the laws of the universe become different? Why is it that only Nambudiri Brahmins from Kerala become priests in the Badrinath temple? Why are they required to wear female attire? And why does an eternal flame burn here that continues for months without any human touch? Today, we are going to tell you the story of Badrinath Dham, a story written in stones, carried in the winds, and hidden within silence. But before understanding these mysteries, we must know what Badrinath truly is. Badrinath Dham is located in the Chamoli district of Uttarakhand at an altitude of approximately 10,000 feet above sea level. This place is not only meant for pilgrimage, but is a land of penance, renunciation, and silent spiritual practice. The atmosphere here is not ordinary. The moment one steps into this land, the mind automatically begins to calm. This is why sages, saints, and yogis for thousands of years have considered this region the gateway to Brahmalok. Now let us understand why Badrinath Dham is called Badrinath. Long ago, Lord Vishnu was immersed in deep meditation at this sacred place. His meditation was so profound and steady that he became completely unaware of his body, nature, and surroundings. Day and night, seasons and weather, all disappeared before his meditation. During this time, heavy snowfall began. Layers of snow not only covered this holy land, but also buried Lord Vishnu himself and his place of penance under ice. Seeing this, Goddess Lakshmi became deeply distressed. She saw that Vishnu, the symbol of love, renunciation, and universal welfare, was slowly being buried under snow, yet his meditation remained undisturbed. At that moment, Goddess Lakshmi renounced herself and to protect her husband, took the form of a Badri tree, a wild berry tree. She assumed this form so that the snow and harsh sunlight would not reach Lord Vishnu. In the form of that tree, she stood firm and unmoving. Ages passed, years went by, yet she did not move or tire. When Lord Vishnu finally completed his meditation, he looked around. He saw Goddess Lakshmi covered in snow, protecting him in the form of a Badri tree, who had sheltered him for years beneath her shade. Seeing this emotional sight, Lord Vishnu's heart filled with love and gratitude. He said to Goddess Lakshmi, "O Devi, just as I performed severe penance, you too performed penance through love. Just as I became an ascetic, you protected me through the penance of devotion. From today, this dham will be worshipped not only in my form, but as the combined dedication of both of us. And since you protected me in the form of the Badri tree, this place shall henceforth be known as Badrinath. That is, the Lord of Badri. Since then, this sacred land came to be called Badrinath, a place where renunciation and penance are worshipped together. This name is not merely a geographical identity, but a living life story of Goddess Lakshmi's devotion and Lord Vishnu's meditation. Even today, millions of devotees visit Badrinath Dham. But very few people know that behind the name of this sacred land lies an extraordinary story of loving penance, where Goddess Lakshmi, by becoming a tree, did what only selfless love can do. Situated in the high Himalayan Kedarnath Valley, This region is not only a symbol of natural beauty, but is also illuminated by the depth of India's eternal culture and the fire of penance. Here stand two sacred mountains, Nara and Narayana, which are not merely geological formations, but living legends of Lord Vishnu's divine incarnations. Among the 24 incarnations of Lord Vishnu, Nara and Narayana rishis performed their great penance in the lap of these very mountains. This is not merely the land of sages, but the land of spiritual resonance. Kedarnath, one of the sacred Jyotirlingas of Lord Shiva, is also located here. It is said that Lord Shiva himself appeared in the form of Kedarnath, pleased by the severe penance of Nara and Narayana. This place is not just a pilgrimage site for Shiva devotees, it is the living center of mutual devotion and coexistence between Shiva and Vishnu, where penance, sacrifice, devotion, and liberation flow together. It is believed that in the Satya Yuga, Lord Narayana himself established this dham, and since then this region has become one of the most sacred places of Sanatan Dharma. This fact is also described in the Koti Rudra Samhita of the Shiva Purana. It is said that after having darshan of the Kedarnath Jyotirlinga, if a devotee visits Nara Narayana in the Badri region, they are freed from all sins and attain liberation while alive. This is not merely a pilgrimage. It is a journey of purification. Here, the Alaknanda and Mandakini rivers flowing from Shiva's matted locks sing the story of Narayana's penance, and the Naranarayana mountains stand witness to a resolve that astonished even the gods. According to ancient beliefs, this place was created by Lord Vishnu himself. But very few people know that this land was once the residence of Lord Shiva. This story is connected to a unique divine play in which Lord Vishnu himself took the form of a child and devised an extraordinary plan to reside here. It is said that thousands of years ago, when gods and sages lived on earth, Lord Shiva and goddess Parvati resided in this divine place nestled in the Himalayas along with their family. Their presence made this land even more sacred. However, Lord Vishnu was so deeply drawn to the spiritual power and perfection of this place that he resolved to make it his center of meditation. Lord Vishnu knew that directly asking Lord Shiva for this place would not be appropriate, as Lord Shiva loved this land dearly. Therefore, he enacted a divine play. He took the form of a small child and began crying loudly. When goddess Parvati came outside, she saw the child crying amid the cold Himalayan winds. Tears were flowing from the child's eyes, and he appeared helpless. Mother Parvati's heart filled with compassion, and she lifted the child into her arms. But the surprising thing was that the child refused to calm down. Lord Shiva said to goddess Parvati, "This child is not ordinary. Leave him be. He will calm down on his own." But a mother's compassion did not allow her to do so. She took the child inside her chamber and tried to put him to sleep. At that moment, Lord Vishnu extended his divine play further. As soon as goddess Parvati took the child inside, he used his divine yogic power to close the doors of the temple from within. When Lord Shiva tried to enter his residence, he found the doors already closed. He made many attempts, but the doors did not open. Then from inside, Lord Vishnu revealed his true form and said, "O Lord, this place has become very dear to me. I wish to live here, perform penance, and grant darshan to my devotees. Please accept my request and reside in Kedarnath." Lord Shiva, who always honors the wishes of devotees and gods alike, smiled and accepted this request. He left the place and went to Kedarnath, and Lord Vishnu made this land his abode. This is why both Badrinath and Kedarnath hold immense spiritual significance. From that time until today, Lord Shiva resides in Kedarnath, and Lord Vishnu grants darshan to his devotees in Badrinath. This is why Badrinath Dham is still regarded as one of the most sacred places in its purest form. However, over time, due to natural disasters and invasions, this site was damaged. Then in the 8th century, Adiguru Shankaracharya restored this temple. It is said that Lord Vishnu appeared to him in a dream and guided him to retrieve the deity in the form of a Shaligram stone near the Alaknanda river. Adi Shankaracharya went to that place, recovered the idol, and installed it according to proper rituals. After this, Badrinath Dham once again became renowned as a major pilgrimage center of Sanatan Dharma. It is also believed that Lord Narayana himself remains absorbed in yogic meditation here. Therefore, this place is considered extremely important for ascetics and spiritual seekers. The glory of Badrinath Dham is not limited to mythology alone. This place is also naturally extraordinary. The temple is located at an altitude of approximately 10,170 feet above sea level, surrounded on all sides by snow-covered peaks. The Alaknanda river flowing beside the temple further enhances its divinity. It is said that this is the very place where sage Narada worshipped Lord Vishnu. Now let us understand a mystery of Badrinath Dham that sets it apart from all other pilgrimage sites. Across India, blowing the conch shell is considered auspicious. But in the Badrinath temple, the conch is never blown. Is this merely a tradition, or does it hide a deeper spiritual story? Let us understand the meaning of this silence. It is said that once goddess Lakshmi was deeply absorbed in meditation in the Tulsi Bhavan of Badrinath Dham. Her meditation was so intense that even a small sound could disturb it. During that same period, Lord Vishnu destroyed the demon Shankachurna. Yet even after victory, he did not blow the conch shell out of respect for goddess Lakshmi's penance. This silence later became a tradition. According to another belief, Badrinath Dham is the supreme land of yoga and penance. Here, Lord Vishnu in the form of Narayana is believed to be seated in deep meditation. While the sound of the conch is considered auspicious elsewhere, here it is believed to disturb meditation. Therefore, in Badrinath, silence is given more importance than sound. This silence is a symbol of spiritual practice, not of power. Thus, the absence of the conch in Badrinath is not a restriction, but a sacred discipline. It teaches us that where deep devotion and penance exist, the highest form of worship is silence. That is why Badrinath Dham remains a living land of peace, restraint, and penance even today. Now let us understand the truth of Brahma Kapal. Located within the sacred complex of Badrinath Dham, Brahma Kapal is not just a pilgrimage site, but a profound mystery connected to the soul's final journey. It is believed to be the place where the distance between life and death begins to dissolve. It is believed that during the Mahabharata era, the Pandavas performed ancestral rites here for the peace of their forefathers. Since then, Brahma Kapal has been regarded as a special gateway for the liberation of ancestors. It is said that rituals performed here free the soul from wandering and guide it towards salvation. The Skanda Purana also describes Brahma Kapal as a sacred ancestral site where the fruits of karma are received quickly. That is why even today, devotees from distant places come here with faith and resolve for their ancestors. But the mystery of this place is not limited to ancestors alone. This story is also connected to Lord Shiva himself. According to the Puranas, when Brahma became infatuated with his own creation Shatrupa, Lord Shiva had to take a severe decision to protect cosmic order. He severed Brahma's fifth head with his trident. As a result of this act, Lord Shiva incurred the sin of Brahma Hatya. To be freed from this sin, he performed long penance at this very place in the Himalayas. It is said that Lord Shiva attained liberation from this sin at Brahma Kapal. Therefore, this land is considered unique in both respects. It grants liberation to ancestors and purification even to Mahadev himself. That is why Brahma Kapal is still regarded as the most powerful symbol of liberation, freedom, and peace. Now let us understand why the doors of Badrinath Dham remain closed for 6 months every year. Badrinath Dham is located at a very high altitude. As winter intensifies, the entire region becomes covered in snow. After October, reaching this place becomes almost impossible. Extreme cold, snowstorms, and blocked routes can endanger human life. For this reason, according to tradition, the temple doors are closed on the day of Bhai Dooj and reopened for devotees on the auspicious occasion of Akshaya Tritiya. This decision is not merely administrative, but a respectful acceptance of both nature and scripture. Does worship stop when the doors close? No. In Badrinath Dham, service to God never stops. When the temple doors close, the festival idol of Lord Badri Vishal is brought to Joshimath. Throughout the winter period, regular worship, offerings, and rituals continue there. This tradition teaches us that God is never confined to a single place. Now let us understand the eternal flame of Badrinath Dham, which never extinguishes even amid snow. One of the most mysterious miracles of Badrinath is the eternal lamp that burns here. At the time of closing the temple doors, the chief priest lights a lamp inside the sanctum. For 6 months, no one enters the temple. Yet when the doors are opened again, the lamp is found burning exactly as before. No oil is added. No wick is changed. How is this possible? Even science has no clear answer. Therefore, devotees consider it a sign of Lord Narayana's divine presence. Now, why are the Ravals of Badrinath only from Kerala? Badrinath Temple follows a unique tradition. The chief priests, known as Ravals, are only Nambudiri Brahmins from Kerala. This tradition was established by Adi Shankaracharya. His intention was to bind different parts of India into one spiritual thread. With this vision, priests from the south serve in the north, and traditions from the north are honored in the south. To become a Raval, deep knowledge of the Vedas, long training, and a strict selection process are mandatory. There is also another tradition in Badrinath that surprises most people. During certain special rituals, the Raval must wear female attire. It is important to note that the Raval remains male. His face, body, and identity remain male. Only the attire includes a sari, bindi, bangles, and traditional feminine adornments. This ritual is connected to goddess Lakshmi and has been followed for centuries according to scriptural discipline. Badrinath Dham teaches us that faith is not merely something to be seen but something to be experienced. The flame burning amid snow tells us that if faith is true, light remains even in darkness. Near Badrinath Dham, in the silent Himalayan valley, lies another remarkable site, Bhim Pul. At first glance, it appears to be nothing more than a massive stone bridge. But the story behind it makes it extraordinary. Standing over the fast flowing Saraswati River, this bridge appears to be a connection between nature and divinity. It is believed that when the Pandavas set out on their journey to heaven, they halted before this fierce stream. Seeing the path as impossible, the mighty Bhima demonstrated his immense strength and placed a huge rock across the river. This rock later came to be known as Bhim Pul. Even today, the impressions resembling fingers on the stone appear to testify to that legendary moment. The most astonishing fact is that for centuries, this massive stone has stood firmly without any visible support. From a scientific perspective, this mystery has not yet been fully explained. Bhimpul is not just a structure, but a living symbol of resolve, strength, and faith. It makes every visitor feel that our traditions are not mere stories, but living experiences. In the sacred Himalayan valleys near Badrinath Dham, this place is not only known for its grand temple and divine atmosphere, but also for its unique sacred offering. Here, devotees are given tulsi as prasad, which is the distinctive identity of this dham. Behind offering tulsi as prasad lies a deep spiritual significance. Tulsi is considered extremely dear to Lord Vishnu, and since Badrinath is the abode of Vishnu in his Badri form, Tulsi is regarded as the most sacred offering here. It is believed that Tulsi growing in this region is not ordinary. Thriving in the harsh Himalayan climate, this Tulsi is considered to be filled with divine energy. Plucking it for any other purpose is forbidden. Its leaves are taken only to be offered to the Lord. When a devotee receives this Tulsi Prasad, they are not just receiving a leaf but carrying with them the sacred energy of Badrinath Dham and the grace of Lord Vishnu. It is said that this Tulsi purifies the environment, removes negativity, and brings peace and prosperity into the home. That is why the Tulsi of Badrinath is still regarded as a symbol of devotion, faith, and divinity. Now let us understand the mystery of Tapt Kund. In Badrinath Dham, there is a place where cold surrenders. This place is known as Tapt Kund. All around are icy winds and freezing weather, yet the water of this kund remains hot in every season. This contradiction itself makes it mysterious. It is believed that the heat of this kund does not come from any natural process, but from divine penance. It is said that Surya Dev performed long penance here, and the energy of that penance still flows through this water. The experience cannot be understood merely by touching the water. From outside, the water appears scalding. But the moment a devotee enters it, the water becomes comfortable and soothing. It feels as though the kund adapts itself to each person's body and devotion. That is why it is not considered merely a bath, but a process of spiritual purification. Devotees believe that bathing here purifies not only the body, but also the mind and thoughts. In the Badrinath journey, Tapt Kund is the gateway through which a devotee purifies both body and mind before proceeding for the darshan of Lord Badri Vishal. Even today, this kund holds within its warmth the devotion and penance of countless centuries. There is one experience associated with Badrinath Dham that is not easy to describe in words. The first thing one feels upon arriving here is a deep, profound peace, as if the atmosphere itself is breathing slowly. It is said that Lord Narayana resides here in a meditative posture, and his meditation is so intense that even nature becomes naturally calm. This is not a rule but an experience. Devotees say that sounds here become unusually soft. Compared to ordinary places, noises feel reduced. Lightning flashes, rain falls, but the intensity normally felt in mountain regions is absent. This may be due to altitude, valley structure, or weather conditions. But devotees associate it with the meditative energy of the Lord. They believe this calmness is the effect of divine meditation. When a traveler spends time in this dham, the silence does not remain outside, it begins to descend within. Thoughts start to quieten. The mind begins to settle. Badrinath is not a place merely to be seen. It is a land meant to be experienced, where nature, faith, and inner peace come together. Here, silence is not emptiness, it becomes a divine dialogue. So friends, this was my return to Badrinath and Kedarnath after 25 years, a journey of silence, devotion, and timeless legends. If you loved my storytelling, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Your support motivates me to bring out the best stories from across Asia, from the Himalayas to Kutch and beyond. And remember, Kedarnath and Badrinath are fragile Himalayan pilgrimages. These lands are landslide prone, so my humble request is please do not pollute, do not disturb. Must visit, yes, but with respect, with silence, and with care. Only then will these sacred places remain alive for generations to come. Jai Badri Vishal, Jai Kedarnath Dham, Jai Devbhumi.